Hello, this is Becky Neesmith, and I'm here with Evan Blair, principal of Lincoln High School. Mr. Blair, thank you for speaking with me today.
You're welcome.
I'm hoping to learn more about the impact of the role of the principal on student learning.
Okay.
So my first question is, how would you describe your role as principal?
Well, it's definitely different from assistant principal. Assistant principal, I thought I was lockers, textbooks, discipline stuff. I have noticed as principal, that of course the financial part's a big part of it that I've had to learn, but really it is the teaching and the instruction part with the teachers. I mean, if we don't come in and find the right professional development and the right direction to go with our teachers on how we're going to engage the students and find the best ways for them to learn, and I don't feel like I'm doing my job. So really, I feel like my role's been probably defined best by the instruction side of it and trying to help my teachers and support them with teaching strategies.
Okay, so you mentioned the daily managerial tasks like discipline and lunchroom duty and things like that. How do you think those things impact the classroom?
I think the culture of the school is set when you've got the free time. I think first, I know with us just both of us being on the same page with discipline has been a big help. We've used a script, and it's to the point this time of the year where the kids know their punishment when they come to the office. They're not arguing. We don't have to justify how many days they're getting to the parents because they already talked to another parent and know that's the same thing their kid got. But the class changes, the lunchroom, the not being at bus duty, those things can really trickle into the classroom. You let kids get out there and argue or sneak around and play a card game or something, and then you want them to calm down to go to math 5 minutes later. So that does affect the whole culture of the school and kind of gets everything out of sync.
Okay, so how does what you do impact the classroom on an academic level?
Well, it's our job, all of us, and I guess I oversee the teachers and being sure we find teachers that want to be here and that are really truly trying to engage the students. So, we're going to focus a lot next year. Of course, college and career ready, we're going to start focusing on some communication skills with student-led conferences and stuff that we can do extra along with our curriculum. But we want to take our curriculum and have the students to where they see the relationship to the real world and know why it's important to study this. And if we don't give the tools to our teachers to be able to use those lessons and use those resources to create lessons that do that, it's not helping any. So, I think academically they're going to learn better if they see relevance, and it's up to us to help the teachers find those resources.
Right. One of the things that Ms. Doty and I talked about was in the CIP and in the mission statement in general, trying to balance career ready and college ready and giving the kids more opportunities for the career ready part of it.
Right.
How is that different from the previous CIP?
Well, they really are taking it's getting away from just how much are you improving on STAR and how much are you improving on ACT and Aspire, and now they're giving credentials and actually giving kids cords at graduation for being a completer in career tech classes. I mean, you don't have to ace the ACT and you don't have to take the ASVAB, and you don't have to be guaranteed to go to college to get cords at graduation and be considered a completer and a credential. You can take 3 career tech classes across the board, or you can get a full certification by taking 3 or 4 years of family and consumer science and passing the ServSafe test. So it's just totally transformation, and it's kind of like people are finally catching on to probably 70% of your school's not going to college. So what can we do to them to make them feel like they're honor students and make them be involved when they're here during the day?
What is your role in the assessment of content decision making?
Well, it hasn't been as much as I wanted it to be this year, but next year we're going to do a lot of stuff. Trying to have planning every day is a big thing to where we can have it once, maybe even twice a week. Grade group meetings, I say grade group meetings, I meant content meetings. We're going to continue having English joint planning and stuff. And I can have a better role in being in on some of those content meetings and meeting with the teachers, and then relaying, standards that we're not doing good on STAR, whether it's math or reading, to those teachers and say, hey, let's get these incorporated into class. Of course, student-led conferences, you know, I'm gonna kind of lead the way on that and just say, hey, follow through and help me be sure this is getting
Ms.
done.
Lloyd,
So,
go to the main office, please. Ms.
a lot
Lloyd.
more next year than what I've done this year. I've just been kind of trying to keep my feet on the ground.
Well, you mentioned earlier that you and Mr. Taylor work together a lot, and you work well.
Thank you.
Has there ever been a time that you disagreed with each other?
Oh, yeah, there is. And honestly, I'm not gonna say I was right and he was wrong or vice versa, but I would view things a lot more probably the way he does if I hadn't had my assistant principal experience first. You know, he coming straight from out of the classroom and kind of being OCD and a perfectionist. He's still big on he doesn't really understand why a teacher is late for duty or a student a parent makes excuses by a student having too much homework, you know, to where I've seen that over the last couple of years, and I just know everywhere you go, that's going to happen. I mean, you know,
So you get a bigger picture
right,
perspective.
yeah, and you know, and he'll come in and we got to do this and got to do this, and you know, and I tried to explain to him the importance of keeping your faculty with you. You know, I mean, look, we can pick our fights and stuff gets out of line. We can step up and say, hey, we got to address this, but you know, if we pick on every little mistake a teacher makes, you know, they're a professional too. You know, eventually we're going to start losing our staff and have people turning against us.
Right, so environment is a big
right.
deal. You overseeing the environment.
Right.
How has the role of principal evolved since you first entered education?
Well, I guess I'm going to look back to maybe when I was interning, since this is my first year as a full-time principal. You know, it used to be you know, you go in, you do the PEPI observations, and you meet with all the teachers, and you know, now it's all so technology based. You know, you go in, you look for strategic teaching, you look for a technology component, and I mean, you know, sometimes you can observe a class in 10 minutes and see what you want to see just from what's written on the board instead of having to stay and watch a whole class. Of course, going from 45 7-minute, you know, 7-period days to, you know, the 90-minute alternating to kind of be more like a college and give you more time for the hands-on PBLs and stuff. It's just, you know, I guess it's more staying ahead of the game and figuring out what's going to be the new and best teaching strategy for us to use with our teachers compared to, you know, just being an overseer of everything. It's kind of what I remember when I first started showing interest.
So a little more hands-on
Yeah, it
than it
is.
used to
It
be.
is.
What role do you think the local administration, such as yourself and Mr. Taylor, should play in the professional development of staff?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, you know, of course, we try to get feedback from the staff, and I know we do that from a central office level on what professional development we need to focus on. But you know, they're still, you know, we still have new teachers. We have career tech teachers that didn't get an education degree. You know, they were doing something else, and you know, and they're totally lost when it comes to teaching strategies or classroom management. And you know, we have teachers that have double-digit years experience. They're just burned out and losing motivation right now. You know, and we have to look for ways to say, hey, what can we get her involved in that'll make her excited about coming back to work again? So I mean, it's wide ranging, and you know, and all that falls on us. You know, I mean, we get opportunities from the district level, but you know, it's up to us if we got somebody struggling to find out what we need to do to help them.
What aspects of your job do you believe need to be changed or improved in order to implement a more instructionally based content?
Well, I think you know, we're kind of in a period where first, you know, the kids just don't want to do homework anymore, and the parents are supporting them on that, and then we're kind of transferring between textbooks and getting on the online stuff, and I think really, you know, we just need to get a clear cut direction as to where we're going with the kids, and then, you know, like I say, we're trying to just take objectives and stuff and make them more kid friendly. You know, how's this a real world connection? So, I think we got to continue focusing on the college and career ready. You know, and You still got the teachers that wanna lecture and wanna use the textbook, and we gotta keep working with them. I don't tell them how to teach, but, you know, they've got to understand that, you know, that's just not kids these days, you know, I mean, they can't sit and listen to 90 minutes of lecture every day, and they're not getting anything out of that. And, you know, that's just, I don't know if it's a problem, but, you know, that's definitely, you can still see that changing every day, you know, and just going away from traditional classrooms into where you feel like you're entertaining the kids to get their attention.
Okay, so last question. In regards to academics, what do you feel is the most important part of your role as principal?
I think it is finding that happy median where the kids come to school and they want to put forth their full effort. You know, I mean, we have very bright students at our school now, and you can go down the list of the people who are failing or have to repeat a class or something, and it's all just really straight from laziness. I mean, it is, and you know, those same people are going to fail 2 or 3 classes, and honestly, I think that number just gets bigger every year. You know, you go from, for example, right now we had 1 or 2 seniors that were question marks about graduating and walking, and they made it. And then you drop down 2 levels, and you know, and you got double-digit kids in just the 10th grade failing core classes. You know, and it's just, you know, it's not getting any better when you look at scores for middle school kids coming up, and it's just they're getting more and more apathetic and more just of what have I got to do to get by, and my parents tell me I don't have to do homework, and it just, you know, we got to find that aspect that grabs every kid's attention and make them say, hey, if I don't succeed in school, then I'm probably not getting off to a very good start at succeeding in life, you know, because, I mean, they are there. Example, you know, you failed Algebra 1 in 9th grade. I mean, either you're going to be taking geometry and Algebra 2 at the same time, or, you know, I mean, you're going to spend the rest of your, in math hard enough, you're going to spend the rest of your high school life trying to catch up and double up in math and take something in summer school, and it's just, you know, you're not learning what you need to be learning when you're in a hurry like that and can't focus on
So
one thing at a
trying
time.
to balance responsibility and motivation
Right.
and connection with
Right.
after school.
Yeah, motivation is huge, you know, and that's coming with the parents too. You know, the parents think they can have a negative thought about a teacher going into the school year, and that's justification for why the kid's not doing good. You know, and they can come up here and just say, well, we knew this was going to happen before school started, and I guess that means we're supposed to give them a 60. You know, I mean. To me, do what we're trying to do here. Tell the kid, hey, do the work, keep up with the class, and give us your all, and you're going to pass. You know, don't look for that loophole to get around the whole situation. So
Okay, well, thank you very much.
you're welcome. Enjoyed it.